Good morning, y'all. Welcome back to Homestead. Guys, I want to do a quick shout out to everyone that has been liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing to our channel, supporting our videos. We really appreciate it, guys. We got great things coming. So this morning, going to do an Are You Prepared video. Guys, I'm trying to think outside of the box and think of things that will help you. I wish that I could reach someone my age. I hope that I have. That's the whole goal with this. But I do know that most of our viewers are probably my parents' age or older. So I've been trying to incorporate things that may help you regardless of your age. And I think this right here will help you. So are you prepared with home security? Guys, this has so much to do with homesteading. You just don't realize it. Whether you're homesteading, whether you're in an apartment, whatever. We have all watched the news this past weekend and week, and it really has had my mind turning on how we could better protect our homes, especially if you are homesteading or stay at home most of the day, okay? This is your protection. This is where you are safe. You need to feel safe, and you need to keep this protected. If you're homesteading, you need to check your entire property, okay? Usually, we just have to deal with natural disasters like trees falling, roofs on an animal pen, a barn, things like that. But guys, your own home is the most important spot. And usually, it's the most neglected. And we always get the telemarketer calls, hey, would y'all like to buy a home security system? Well, let me tell you our home security system and the things that we do to keep it safe. So, speaking to you in a real life experience, years ago, guys, someone tried to actually break in this house. I was here. This is before I married my husband. And the one thing that stopped that person from breaking in, what they did was they came up right before midnight and they started banging on the door. So what deterred that person, I stayed where I was. I was in my bedroom. We had a 100-pound German Shepherd outside. Now, down here in the country, we don't have leash laws, but the dog was massive, and the person left. You could hear the dog. It was growling. It was not good. The dog was very upset. The person went away. So that was a very good thing for me because that person was trying to enter here. Now, that person was probably just up to something mischievous, probably up to no good. If that person wanted to, they could have, gotten rid of that dog. I understand that, but it did not hurt the circumstance, okay? Usually, something like that, somebody is going to be scared off, okay? So, but that did help. Now, I've always grown up with having dogs out here in the country. People drop stray dogs off. They just become part of the family. That's just how it is out in the country. But a dog is a deterrent somewhat. If anything, a dog will let you know if someone is there. They will bark. They will let you know. Now, that dog went on. He was a very loyal, faithful dog. He wouldn't have done anything to hurt me. As far as I was aware, he loved me, but they tend to stick with their owner, and they love their owner. The first night that my husband pulled up to take me out on our first date, he wouldn't get out of the vehicle. And I finally just went out there, and I just did not like that. I was used to, somebody coming to the door and knocking. And I finally went out to his vehicle, and I said, hey, are you going to come to the door? He said, not with that German Shepherd right there, I'm not. It deterred him from even getting out of the vehicle at the time and coming to the door. Now, second date, he'd come up to the door, and it was more like a first date, but he was scared to death of that dog. He didn't know how that dog was going to react. So that worked out in our benefit. And guys, we have dogs now. They love us. They alert us with any sound. A lot of times, guys, it's just annoying. If the trash truck goes up the road, they can't stand it. If an ambulance comes down the road or any kind of sirens, they'll howl for 20 minutes. They just do not like it. But we love our dogs regardless, but they are a benefit, okay? Especially if you're outside, they'll let you know if something is coming up on your property. If somebody pulls up, they let us know. So it is a benefit to have a dog outside for us, okay? Next, when I was single, I would, I worked every shift known to man. I worked 11 to 3, 3 to 11, 11 to 7. You know, I mean, I worked everything known to man. I worked days, evenings, and nights. The hardest shift for me to work was evening shift because I would get off at 11 at night and I would drive home. The house was completely dark. Sometimes I would leave on a lamp, but I did not like coming into a dark house in the middle of the night, in the middle of the country, and not knowing what was in here. So I would always make sure the door was still locked. I would unlock the door. If the door was not locked, I would know right then, like, hey, we've got trouble. But somebody could have came in through a window or the front door. I always come in a different door. So there's multiple entries that a person could come in that we don't normally check every time that we walk through a house, okay? Get in the mindset to do that. That is a very good habit. When I would walk in, it would be midnight, not a soul awake, not a light on. We don't have street lights down here. We've got one light in the yard. I mean, you cannot see. It's completely dark. First thing I would do would be flip on the lights to whatever room I walked into. And guys, I would go room to room. I know this sounds paranoid, but this is what I would do. I would go room to room, checking every room to make sure somebody was not in there, because how else would I know? How else would I know if somebody broke in on the other side of the house and they were laying in wait in that room? How would I know? I'm going to tell you what bothered me more than anything was the guest bathroom shower. I always was paranoid that somebody was behind that shower curtain. It just, you know, being a young woman in her 20s, I was worried about things like that. So I would always yank back that shower curtain every night. You just never know, but I would glance around. I would check the windows. I would check the doors. I would see that everything looked okay. Now, somebody could still get in a window and just shut it, and you would never know that anything was busted. You have to think about stuff like this, especially, guys, if you live alone, no matter what your age is. Things like this, we need to be more alert and checking, making sure. Also, if I am here during the day, even alone, if I'm inside this house, I'll lock the door. Is a lock going to stop anybody? Absolutely not. But it may give you a few seconds to get better prepared if somebody's coming in on you, instead of them just literally opening the door and walking in. They're going to have to try harder. That's all it is. They're going to have to try harder to get to you. It's not going to stop them, any of this, from getting to you. It's just giving you more time to get prepared if they do. Okay? So that is a few things I wanted to talk to you about. And I've kind of gotten out of the habit of it. And like I said, watching the news and watching all that's happened, it's just kind of had my mind turning as far as what could we do to be secure on our homestead, on our property, in your house, apartment, whatever. Also, guys, this is totally random, but things that you can do to protect your home and just protect yourself. If you have a smoke detector, if you have a fire detector, guys, if you've spent the money to put it up on your wall, check the batteries. We always check it at daylight savings. Fall back, fall forward, we always check it. That's a good habit to get into. Our local meteorologists tell you that. They'll say, hey, when you set your clocks back and forward and backwards, always just check your smoke detector. It's a good habit to have. If you carry a cell phone, turn it on. Keep it where people can get in touch with you if you so choose to carry one. Don't turn it off. What's the point? Then why do you even have it? I got in that situation yesterday. I was trying to call somebody. I was worried. Couldn't get a hold of them. You know, what's the point if you don't have it on? You know, because to me, a cell phone is here for emergencies. That's what it's for. I don't, you know, use it all the time, but that's what it's for to me. Keep it on. Stay in contact with your loved ones. Message them, talk to them once a day. Just try to touch base. It's just good habits to have. If you have important documents, if you have cash, anything like that, I would definitely have it in a safe place. I would have it in something fireproof. I would have it where I could grab it and go if I had to get out quick. Whether it be a hurricane, a tornado, somebody is breaking in, don't know. That may be the least of your priorities, but you may have more time than you think to prepare for these things. You never, ever know. You don't want to leave your house and wish you had, you know, grabbed all that cash you had stashed back, or all of your, you know, kids' birth certificates or things like that if you're having to leave in a hurry. Have everything on hand. Go check it. Recheck it. Make sure it's okay. Make sure nothing's gotten into it. Make sure it's good. if anything, if you're opening a safe, go do the combination once a month. That way you won't forget it, okay? Just have this stuff on hand, practice, keep it in mind. So that's the main things I can think about, is checking the perimeter of your house, checking the inside, interior perimeter of your house, staying prepared. And guys, again, there's just little stuff you can do. I'm so used to being out in these woods, I can even hear a deer walk up very quietly. I'm used to that. I would not be used to going to town where sirens and lights and bells and whistles are going off all the time. I wouldn't be used to that. I wouldn't know how to react. It's kind of like the episode of I Love Lucy where they moved to the country the first night. That's how I was when I moved back down here. I was scared to death. My parents kind of knew it, but I didn't want to let on that I was so scared. You can hear your breath at night. You can hear your breathing. It's that quiet. And I was used to hearing sirens continuously and cars and engines and horns, and you don't understand what you get used to until you're in that situation. So if you're in town, you're more adapted to hear if something's amiss, but you may not hear it as well as somebody like me that's out here in the complete quiet. I had to go through going stir crazy for a little while to get okay and acclimated to this. But I can hear I can hear my husband coming down the county road. I know if he has turned on this road. That's how quiet it is here. So we're at an advantage. We can hear somebody unless they come up on foot. Wouldn't be able to hear that, but then we have the dogs. They will let us know. Hopefully, you hope for that. But it's just things to mull over, guys. I want you to think about it. I want you to think about these important things and think of where you keep them. Think, do you need to get stuff together and keep it together? What can you do to better protect your home? Make sure all of your windows are locked. Again, will it stop somebody from getting in? Absolutely not. But it may give you a split second more time to get prepared if somebody does. Are your doors locked? Are things safe around your homestead? Is something amiss? Is something awry? Check these things. And I could go on for hours, guys, talking about how to prepare your house or your homestead or apartment, whatever. Just check on it. And keep this in mind. If you have animals and you're watching me, your dogs, your chickens, pigs, goats, cows, whatever, as much as you check on them and as much as you worry about them being safe from natural elements or anything else, predators, how much do you check on yourself? You need to put that in mind. As much as we tend to these animals, how much care are we giving to our own house and inside our house? Think about that and see if you need to adjust that to get better prepared. Guys, nothing to go by today. It's just things to go check on. Got a lot more coming out this week. We'll see you next time on Harmon Homestead.